I remember there was one particular time I went to the hospital. I spoke to Pascal about it, and he said, God has told you to do this by faith, so you have to do it by faith. But if you don't do it by faith, that's your business. You are on your own. So I went to the hospital, and I didn't want anybody to know who I was. And so I used my Igbo name. So instead of Mildred, right? Instead of Mildred Kinsokonko, I registered as Isioma Okonko. So I was going to get my lab work done. I remember it was the day I had decided to do IVF. In fact, there was this particular episode of bleeding. It was so bad. They rushed me to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, the doctor that attended to me did an ultrasound. And she said to me, I don't know why you're wasting your time. She said, look at your ovaries. The cysts are so many. There's no way you can conceive naturally. She said, but your uterus is so beautiful. All we need to do is place an egg here. And it will sit. So she kind of just explained it to me that you are suffering yourself for nothing. You are going to just be doing this thing and just come and do this IVF thing. So I kind of just said, you know what? So I went to Mount Pascal. He said, that's what you want to do, fine. But you're not allowed to share testimony at Davis Christian Center. You're not hey, give me all kinds of things. So I just said, whoa, now you define testimony. I'm picking a define. Anybody will know your testimony and I look. So I just kind of chose that. So I went to the hospital and I said, okay, let me not make it so dramatic. So let me use my Igbo name and so I registered as Isioma Okonko. So I was going to get my lab work done. The person carrying me were going. All of a sudden, somebody said, Pastor Mildred, and I turned. And the girl holding my face said, hey, which one is Isioma Okonko? I said, I know you. And now they're saying, actually, you know when you explain entire evidence. I got to the lab, they drew my blood, they said I should come back like 3 days later. And that Friday we were traveling to Benin. Pascal was preaching in Archbishop Ndausa's church. Finished preaching, we went to have dinner in Archbishop's son's house. Then I met his wife, Pastor Lori. Very bubbly. If you meet her as a person, she's very bubbly and very pleasant. So she just bubbled out of the kitchen and just said, oh, how are you? My name is Lori. What's your name? I said, how many kids do you have? I said, no, you both ask me this kind of question. Not what do you do? Not nothing. How many kids do you have? Because I took my time to answer. She now said, oh, don't worry. You're still waiting for kids, right? So I said, have you heard my story? I said, no. She pulled that chair and sat down. Now this woman began to put story for me. She did many IVFs and finally they got pregnant, had the baby. A few hours later, the baby died. Then she said, the Holy Spirit said, do you want to go on this journey? I said, my uncle even was because the money we don't get. And she said, while they were burying her son, one of the people who came to do the service said to her, by this time next year, you'll be dedicating a child. She was very angry. She felt the person was very insensitive. It was a funeral. What are you talking about? That by this time next year, and you know how many times we've tried. You know that doctors say my husband and I have 99.9% chance of never having a child. And lo and behold, they went, traveled. By the time she came back, found out she was pregnant. She had 3 boys, back to back consecutively. And so she said, God will do it.